This is part 5 of a series of videos about what to expect at a psychiatric hospital. Again, I'm Addy Dawn. I have worked at psychiatric facilities for 20 years and I am quite familiar with this. This part I'd like to talk about the staff on the unit, what you would expect. As I had said in part 1, at the crisis center, you will meet the person who probably will do your admissions paperwork, give you an armband. They take pictures often so that they can keep the picture in the pharmacy so they know they're giving the right med to the right person. In some facilities, the armband itself can hold the little picture. It's a little picture on the armband. And that's used in your chart. It's ways to remember who you are because, like any hospital, they want to be careful about that. And of course, you would meet the nurse for an assessment. At least this is the facility where I worked. You meet a psychiatrist for an assessment, a case manager, the insurance people. So a lot of those are the initial people. In some facilities, the first person you actually come in contact with is a security guard. When you walk in the door, sometimes the security person is the first person who's taking all the objects away that I spoke about earlier as far as things that could be dangerous to you. And, of course, locking up your valuables. So that's the first part. And, of course, on the unit, you would meet the psych techs. The psych techs are the individuals who, as I said earlier, not to insult them, are almost like glorified babysitters. But then again, I said the very good ones are also like counselors. We had one on the women's unit where I worked. She had been there, she's still there, for 25 years. She was excellent. She would hold groups in the evening and counsel with the patients. She had been there so long. She was very good. She really had a good program as to how she lived her own life, and she shared that with others. And so the psych techs, they basically are there with the person all day. They're basically the front line. They're watching the patients all day. They're noting where the patients are throughout the day. They're keeping people safe. The nurses, and I'll speak for where I worked, so one of the places, so I don't know, other facilities may be a little different. There were 24 women on the unit, and there would be one nurse assigned to 12 of the women and another nurse assigned to the other 12, and it was done just randomly by room numbers. And this would be the nurse's job to pretty much check with the person throughout the day, see how their mood is going, see if they have any needs, because the nurse can talk to the doctor for orders. And I should remember to say that. If I don't remember to say this later, the only person on the unit who can write an order is a doctor. A resident, a doctor, a physician assistant, a nurse practitioner. They're the only people who can write orders. The nurses cannot write orders. The psych techs, a lot of times they're not even aware of what the nurse's job is, so they can't write orders. So patients get angry and upset. If you want something written, an order for a medication, you're in pain, usually if you have some pain, you need a Motrin, an aspirin, the nurse could just call the resident on call and get that right away. But as far as any needs, coming off SPs, the psychiatrist has to make that decision, SPs being suicide precautions. Other things like if you, in some facilities, they let you keep your iPod or your music device, and when you come off SPs, you can have the device back, and the doctor has to write the order for that. So a lot of patients get agitated about that because it's like, I'm off SPs, now I want my music, and no, you can't have that till the order is in the chart. And once the order is in the chart and the psych tech then is aware of it, you get that back. So that's basically, how a lot of that works. Like I said, the nurses are pretty much assigned to helping the patients more with mood issues, feelings of suicidality, asking them if they slept well the night before, are you eating, are your needs being met, because they don't, let's face it, staff doesn't want everybody going off the wall. They want people pretty much calm and, able to contain themselves, and so they work toward that ends, and a lot of them are very loving people, believe it or not, and very caring people. And there are a lot of patients who come back numerous times for various reasons. And like I said earlier, there are patients who are there for numerous psychiatric reasons, and some of them have lost spouses or children, and they can't cope with that, and every so often they start to feel suicidal again. They come back. They've developed a bond with the staff. Staff remembers them when they come back. So a lot of times, even though it's Philadelphia I'm speaking about, and, there are numerous psychiatric hospitals here, patients who come back to the same ones and the staff's still there, they know them. And so it's very helpful. And basically the doctor, his job is to, or her job, is to see the patient each day. At least at the facilities where I work, they would see the psychiatrist every day. Sometimes it would be only for 10 or 15 minutes, but in those 10 or 15 minutes, the doctor could assess the person's mood, see how they're feeling, see whatever needs they may have, go over the medications with them, make medication changes right with them. Our psychiatrist on the unit had a computer system where he entered the medications, and the patient was sitting right there, could see the computer right on the desktop, and what was happening. So there's a treatment team that meets. That's the social workers. They work a lot with getting the person ready for discharge, whether they need to go to a drug and alcohol rehab or some other type of facility. So they do the discharge planning. The psychiatrist does the medication monitoring for the most part. Nurses do mood monitoring, and psych techs are there to help the people throughout the day. Since the megabytes are again running out, the next installment I will discuss medications, and that will probably be the final installment of this series. I hope this has been very helpful to you and alleviates some fears, and that you know that if you're in crisis, please seek help. I will go on now to the next video.